So do you guys remember that a couple of weeks ago the social media was awash with pictures of children and the bus that was involved in an accident? So just a recap, the bus that belonged to Tynwald, or that still belongs to Tynwald High School, was involved in an accident, and the children were on their way to a school trip in Nyanga. So 6 children lost their lives and more than 40 people were hospitalized with minor to serious injuries. So yes, the bus driver, Uncle Chamu, was arrested, and he was brought before the court. He was not asked to plea, but he was charged with 6 counts of culpable homicide, you guys. 6 counts of culpable homicide. And he was remanded in custody. Now we wait to see his next appearance, when they are going to ask him to plea. We are not sure what kind of a plea he's going to submit. Yeah, it's really terrible. Like, it's been a terrible time for Zimbabwe as a nation, a terrible time for those parents mostly that lost their little ones in that accident. So we just wait and see as the case unfolds. I will definitely keep my eyes and ears on the ground to bring you more updates on Uncle Chamu, the Tynwald High School bus driver who was involved in an accident while driving school children to a school trip. Now, culpable homicide carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, and obviously the judges are at the discretion of deciding what punishment to prescribe to this particular driver. Now, according to the children that survived the accident, this is what they pointed out. The first thing is, Uncle Chamu was not supposed to be driving the students to the school trip. There's an undertone there that sounds more like the children were disappointed that Uncle Chamu was taking them to the school trip. I'm picking the undertone that Uncle Chamu is known for his Schumacher antics on the road, which is why the students were not really thrilled by the idea of having him as their designated driver for the trip. However, the school authorities said that they were going to change the driver last minute from the usual driver to Uncle Chamu. So Uncle Chamu is said to have been overspeeding, and the students who survived said that they told him a couple of times to slow down, but he did not take heed. Now that's a terrible testimony right there for him. That is a terrible testimony. I mean, having students, teenagers, saying that you actually were speeding and we warned you to slow down, but you did not take heed. That's a terrible, terrible testimony for him. So anyway, he was arrested. So the second case that I want to talk about today is that of a 19-year-old house helper in Bulawayo. This lady was taking care of a 20-month-old baby, and her employer went away for work. I'm thinking it's just one of those mornings where the mother of the house is going away for work. Nothing special, nothing particular, nothing out of the ordinary. As always. And then the employer only got back home to realize that there was no baby, there was no car, there was no help. I don't think there's definitely some accomplice somewhere. So according to the investigations, they actually thinking that the accomplice could have been her boyfriend. Her boyfriend could have been the accomplice in this particular case. Yeah, AMA 2000 are doing the most. They are doing the most. Unfortunately for Kimberly Ncube, 19, who kidnapped the baby and who kidnapped her employer's baby and took a car, while she was arrested, the ZRP went on to their Twitter and posted that they had reunited the baby with his mom, and they had recovered the car. So Kimberly was arrested. Now, there isn't much light that was shed on how she was arrested, where she was arrested, what she is saying about what she did. But yeah, we will definitely stay online for more updates on this one. Well, I would say kudos to Z-Therapy, kudos to you guys, kudos for reuniting the baby with the mother, and kudos for having Kimberly in custody. She's a menace to society. Ha! How much, what's the sentence, what's the maximum and what's the minimum sentence ye kidnapping mu Zimbabwe? And what's the minimum and the maximum sentence ye kuba mota mu Zimbabwe? I have no idea. But yeah, ndidzo nyaya dzake musikana. A 19-year-old, guys, 19-year-old kobla wayo. Yeah, I'm a 2000 are doing the most. The last case I want to talk about today, ndemo Zimbabwean in the UK. Anga achishanda in the arikushanda, rather, not kuti anga achishanda, anoshanda in the British Army. So he was guarding at the Buckingham Palace. Kumba kwa Queen uko, Queen vanga vari ku holiday zvavo in August, not now, in August, before she passed. So she was on a holiday in Balmoral, and then he was also a security guard guarding there, a military guard, I don't know what they call them over there. But here's the thing that happened is he didn't show up, Kubasa, and then his colleague was calling him several times and no response. And then they had to do like a manhunt kind of thing, yeah? So they then found out that he was there at the barracks. So yeah, he was supposed to be on duty. He didn't show up, and secondly, he was not able to show up because he was under the influence. So he was obviously brought before the courts, before the disciplinary committee, and yeah, he pleaded guilty to missing his duty, to being missing from his post, as well as to doing that while he was under the influence. He was under the influence and he was in the barracks. So yeah, he was charged with whatever misconduct that they call it, and then he was found guilty on his own plea. So he was demoted. As punishment, he was demoted from his rank to a lower rank, and he was fined like a 2 weeks salary. Yeah, the fine is equivalent to 2 weeks of his wages. Akomana. So I actually loved the caption or the headline to that article. It sounded more like, okay, I'm going to paraphrase it. These are not the exact words. It was like, when your ancestors have abandoned you. I'm just paraphrasing it. Those are not the exact words. But yeah, that is that was like what I denoted from the headline. It was more like, when your ancestors have abandoned you, this is what happens. So yeah, according to that article, his ancestors abandoned him at the Buckingham Palace. And yeah, such a sad thing. Don't drink while on duty. Don't drink and forget to go to your duties, guys. I know my last case of the day, that was my last crime of the day, but it's actually not. I just thought of something else. Guys, you remember if you are part of my Facebook family, there's an article that I posted, there's a post rather, Yandakaisa, that said something about a 16-year-old girl having killed her boyfriend who was 35. Guys, really, it's actually sad, you know. So there's a 15-year-old girl who is said to have killed her. Some articles are saying ex-boyfriend, others are saying boyfriend. So there was a video Yagato circulator of this girl walking into the courtroom at Harare Magistrate Court, and she was in cuffs and everything. You could see that, well, this is just a child, but what can we do? A crime has been committed and somebody has to answer to it. So according to the article, they actually called it a hawker, as in H-O-O-K. No, not a hawker, a hooker. Yeah, H-O-O. Yeah. So O-O makes the ooh sound. We are back in class. So so they actually called it a hooker, according to the article there. So they called it a hooker. I don't know how a 16-year-old becomes a hooker, guys. Can we really name them that? But yeah, that's the thing. They said a 16-year-old hooker appears before the Harare Magistrate Court for killing her 35-year-old ex-boyfriend by stabbing him with a knife. So a 16-year-old girl is said to have stabbed her ex-boyfriend to death in Hatcliffe. So the incident is said to have happened on the 2nd of November 2022. So the circumstances surrounding this particular stabbing is that they were having a beer drink at the Shabin in Hatcliffe. And then there was a problem between this girl, 16, and the late ex-boyfriend, who was 35. So the boyfriend is said to have accused her of having another man. And then an altercation started. Now, this girl is saying that she didn't mean to stab him. There is a video that is doing the rounds on social media, which I cannot post, which I cannot include as part of my video. I cannot put that footage here. But in the video, the girl is seen explaining that she didn't mean to kill him. She didn't mean to stab him. She was not even trying to stab him. She was trying to stab somebody else who had hit her. And she was saying that she carried the knife around because she was afraid of being attacked by the people in the Shabin. So she had just carried the knife from home. It was a kitchen knife that she had carried for defending herself. And in that same video, other patrons in the Shabin are heard calling her a liar, saying that she intended to kill him. She said that she didn't even know where she had stabbed him, you know. But then investigations are that she stabbed him on the left side, which is probably somewhere around his heart, and he probably bled to death. We don't know what really led to his death. So anyway, on the 2 or so days ago, the girl appeared before Harare Magistrate Court, and she was charged with murder. Now, she was also remanded to the 8th inside, basically in custody. She was not she was not given bail. Probably she was advised to apply for bail at the High Court, but the current position is that she is sitting in custody on remand. She was remanded to the 8th. And the police have been assigned by the magistrate to look for her birth certificate to verify her age, as this was not done by the time that she was brought for her first appearance in court. So we are waiting for the police to verify her real age, and also to do further investigations on what caused, what really happened for her to stab the ex-boyfriend, and if indeed she intended to kill him. But she confessed that she didn't intend to kill him. It's just so sad. I mean, if indeed she's 16, wow. What are your thoughts? A 16-year-old going into a Shabin, a 16-year-old carrying a knife around in Zimbabwe. Guys, I've seen these things happen in other countries that I will not name, because I'm not here to diss any country. But in Zimbabwe, yeah, it's a global village. Ooh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, we will keep our ears and eyes open for that, for more updates on that story, just to see what happens next. So keep my eyes and ears to the ground just to find out more about that particular case, and I'll definitely update you guys. Be sure to look out for the updates on that one. So if you're also part of my Facebook family, you would know that I made a post about a Macheke family or a Macheke couple rather, that was arrested for sexually abusing their own 2 children, aged 8 and 11. So the story is that in January this year, the 8-year-old daughter was in the house with the father on their farm in Macheke, and the father ordered the girl to go into the parents' bedroom, where he raped her once. But then the mother walked in while this was happening, and then she asked him what he was doing. He stopped, but she did not report this case to the police. Now, it is also said that last year the mother had done the same to their 11-year-old son. How this came to light is that the children visited their uncle in Mudzi. While they were there, they were seen imitating acts of sex. And they were asked how they knew about it and what they knew about it. That's when they disclosed that their parents had done that to them. So the father is being charged with rape, and the mother is being charged with aggravated assault. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know what constitutes aggravated assault. She's said to have sexually assaulted her son. Now, I don't know what aggravated assault means. But anyway, that's what she's being charged with. So their trial date is set for Wednesday this week. Yeah, Wednesday this week, their trial is set to kick off at the Harare Magistrate Court. No, not Harare, Marondera Magistrate Court, because they were in Macheke. This crime was committed in Macheke, so Marondera magistrates have the jurisdiction to try this case. Yeah, I would definitely stay. I'll keep my eyes and ears on the ground to see if there are any updates about this case, how it proceeds, and how they are going to plead, first of all. Because the trial was supposed to start last week, Wednesday, but then they said that they needed to find legal help. They needed to find some legal advice before they could come to court. So I am here to see how they are going to plead and what they are going to say, what their defense is going to look like. How do you do that to your children? Do you think the children are lying? Do you think that the children made up that story? I don't know if there are any doctor's reports that confirm that the girl was violated. And given that this was done in January, but of course, I want to believe doctors have their own way of finding out such information. Even social workers should be, I want to believe we have competent people to find out that information. So yeah, let's stay updated. I will definitely be bringing more updates concerning the Macheke family. Currently in the park, guys. It's a beautiful morning. We are enjoying the last bits of fall. Yeah, we are going into winter, as you can see. Takutotamba nawo majamas. Takutomatanga kumapfeka mazbimpazaya. Yeah, but that's it. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. You'll probably see this video on Monday tomorrow. Or yeah, definitely Monday tomorrow. Guys, I haven't been doing a lot of videos. I am sorry about that. It's been very busy over here. So time to create a proper video, like reading an article and digging more about it. It's super busy here. We are super. Oh, I just switched to a camera in a China there. Camera and abatayo in a China. The third camera in a China. Let's go back to the second camera, which is more clear. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. We are going through a lot of changes here. So it's quite busy. And I've been traveling also. If you're part of my Facebook family, you would see some of the snippets that I post concerning my daily life. I encourage you guys to follow my Facebook page and on the Zim Crimes channel so that you can also go and see my daily life in China as an international teacher. And remember, guys, I speak about myself, not the experiences of all international teachers in China. I just basically speak about my experiences, and I speak about my life. I don't talk about other people's lives. Somebody might actually have a different experience, and that's okay, because we are different people, probably in different cities and probably in different schools. So our experiences could actually be totally different as much as we are in the same country. So yeah, I encourage you guys to follow my Facebook page. Go and watch. Let's go and see what teacher Asha gets up to in class, outside class, etc. Yeah, guys, I put little videos there of my life in China, especially the life surrounding my work, because that's what I get to do most of the times. I'm at work the greater part of the day, and yeah, I enjoy what I do. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you so much. What do you guys think about the 16-year-old who's been arrested and they're calling her a hooker? Like, is that even possible? How do we call those little children those names? And also, kana vadzima wako wakuramba unorara panhengekere guys, anzi unorara pabuckingham palace instead yekuti ugade queen, unopedzisira wangorara so pabuckingham palace. Vadzima wako varega kurasa. And the news, the one about the 19-year-old who kidnapped her employer's baby, as well as stealing their BMW. Like, wow, what our children get up to, it's really scary. And lastly, the subsequent arrest of the Tynwald High School bus driver. Yeah. What do you think about all those little pieces of news that I've just shared with you guys? Guys, have a beautiful, beautiful week. Be blessed. Stay away from crime. Do what you need to do to keep your family safe. There is a pandemic out there. I don't know how you guys are doing it in your countries, but over here we are still very cautious. We are still moving around in masks in public places, and traveling is quite restricted. We have to do it, but we have to do it very cautiously. We get tested 3 times a week, especially for us who are working with students every day. We have to be tested more. And as an extra precaution, I definitely wear a mask to class, guys. That's just me. That's just me right there, being me. I wear a mask to class because I want to protect myself. I want to protect my students. So yeah, guys, do what you need to do. Stay blessed, be safe. May the good Lord protect you. May his presence go before you always. May the works of your hands be blessed. Mabasa emaoko enyu ngaaropafadzwe. Zvamunobata ngazviendeke, zvamunobata ngazviropafadzwe. Mwari vari mukwanisi wedu. And stay away from crime, because if you do crime, you are most likely to do the time. Goodbye.